Dave from the Redneck Garage. Today we're going to be trying to get this thing to get through emissions. It may take a couple days, who knows. Now when you're dealing with emission controls, the first thing you want to make sure is that you don't have a check engine light on the dash. If that's on, you're already done. You put a fork in it and you're not going to pass. Once you clear it, then you've got to get to readiness, which means you've got to drive it a certain amount of miles for the computer to say, okay, all systems are working A-OK, and it can be anywhere from 20 to 50, sometimes 75 miles. Now, I've read on forums where somebody said, you have to drive it 500 miles. No, that's not true. There's no way. But we're going to take a look at what it takes to get this Jeep through emissions so I can get some plates on this, because where I live, you can't get plates for the vehicle, can't transfer title, can't do anything until you paid your $9 to the crooks at the emission testing center to say that it is environmentally friendly, which is a whole bunch of crap anyway. But I'm not going to go off on that topic. To get plates, I got to do it. So let's get started. All right, we're going to try to get blue to pass emissions, and I was going to show you a few things on the emissions action. If you're in a place where you have to have emissions testing, I'm sorry, I hate it too. With your newer vehicles, the first thing you're going to check is to see if your check engine light's on, because if your check engine light's on, you're jacked. And my fuel's low, I got to get some gas. Anyway, we're going to hook up, not the expensive scanner, I already had that hooked up yesterday, cleared all the codes, saw what it was. We're going to hook up just an inexpensive Innova, and it's going to give us information as far as whether this thing is ready for emissions testing or not. Once you clear the codes on a newer vehicle, you got to go through what's called a readiness test, and you've got to drive so many miles, blah blah blah, and it'll be ready or not. Now you can see here it's checking everything, and if you look here on the Innova, how many buttons are flashing? I've got 3: CAT, EVA, and O2. So you've got to drive enough miles to be able to clear that. Now I drove 20 miles yesterday after I cleared it, and it's still not hitting readiness. And that's what that yellow light means. It means emission status is not ready yet. You've got to keep driving, and it's either going to set another code or it's going to go, okay, clear, and you can go get it tested real quick. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive it for a little bit longer, and we're going to see when this thing is ready. First tank of gas. I remember being here with the green machine. She's looking pretty good though, that's for sure. That's not the plate for it, that's for the Toyota pickup, but I got to put something on it to drive it around before I can get it emission tested, so then I can take the title and get it titled and registered. But looking nice. So I'm just driving down the pretty countryside of Tennessee. We've gone 30 miles and we're still not ready yet. So it may be about a 50-mile deal. I put the tailpipe all the way from the muffler out yesterday, and it made it a lot quieter in here. I'm surprised how nice the ride is on this Jeep though. It doesn't bounce around, even with the lift kit and everything on it, so we'll see. We'll just keep driving until we get some kind of readiness action. Okay, I've driven 37 miles. Okay, I've driven 37 miles and the O2 light's actually gone off. And we still got 2 lights flashing. Now you can get by with just 1 light, and the green light should go on here, over here, for emission status. So we're going to drive just a little bit longer and see how many miles it actually does take for this thing to go to green. Wow, it's rainy today. I get to try out my intermittent wipers. Awesome. We're going to try to get to readiness again. Got 51 miles on it, which means nothing. We're dealing with the cycles of the computer recognizing it's going from a cold start to a hot start, and one of these days we're going to get it to readiness. Okay, you can see that we just have 1 flashing light, which is the CAT. Now I believe that we'll go through emissions with just 1 flashing light without any problems. We shall see, huh? Alright, so here's the vehicle inspection with the VIN number, and here's the VIN number on the title, and they match. So if you remember back when I did the video on getting the VIN plate printed, it scanned just like it's supposed to. It printed up, their computer read the correct VIN number, so I didn't have to explain anything, go through a bunch of crap why it didn't match. He scanned it, he tested it, I got my certificate. Now we're going down to the DMV to get the title registered and pay my fees. So I got the Jeep to pass emissions, and just remember, you're going to have to drive it for probably 50-60 miles. You're going to be watching your readiness lights on any type of scanner, and if you can get it down to 1 flashing, it's going to pass. You don't have to get them all cleared with the green light. That'll happen eventually, or your check engine light will come on. However, everything looked good. Now I went down and I got my vehicle registered. I got my new plates. If you haven't yet, check out Charlie Daniels and his spot for the NRA, You Haven't Met America. I loved it. It was awesome. Charlie Daniels has always been a hero of mine. I just think he's great. And I got me an NRA plate for my Jeep because I'm a locksmith, a mechanic, a redneck garage. I am the NRA. I'm freedom's safest place. There's my NRA spot. So I'm going to put my NRA plate on the Jeep, proudly displaying that I am a gun-toting American. And we're going to go on to our next thing that we're going to do with the Jeep. I don't know. I need to take just a minute to relish having plates on the Jeep. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches and become an NRA member.